Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking Transformers, and we're talking the live action universe. Now there's plenty of talk at the moment where Transformers goes next on the big screen after the financial and critical success of Bumblebee at the box office. And the options on the table at the moment are a Bumblebee sequel, so will Travis Knight and Hailee Steinfeld return? There's the option of an Optimus Prime standalone movie, so an origin story for Prime, if Lorenzo de Bonaventura can work out if it would work or not. How could it not? And then there's the option of an animated Transformers Cybertron movie. Now that seems like it's got quite a lot of traction and it sounds like it's in the works, but I would have liked to have seen the CG that we saw in Bumblebee the movie taken for a Cybertron movie, but that's just me. So they're the options on the table at the moment, and it seems like Paramount Pictures have a slot free in 2021 for an unknown movie. Could that be Transformers? And if it is, will it be one of those three? Well, I want to put another option on the table. It's a bit out there, it's slightly different, but it seems to be the in thing at the moment to do. So before we get into what I'm talking about, I want to make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you stay up to date with all my Transformers content. Now the option I'm thinking may not be to everyone's taste, but it seems to be a buzz in the industry at the moment, and that is the focus on the anti-hero. So we've seen the likes of DC planning a Joker movie, which is now in the works with Joaquin Phoenix. We've also seen James Gunn be taken on for a second Suicide Squad movie, and we've seen movies released like Glass and Venom which focus on the anti-hero. Now why couldn't we do that with Transformers? Why don't Paramount and Hasbro focus on this? Because we've got plenty of Decepticons who would make a great Transformers film being the anti-hero. Most particularly Megatron. Now we could go down the route of a Megatron origin story, because if an Optimus Prime origin story is available, why not Megatron? He is the most notable Decepticon of them all. But I would like more focus on Megatron being a key part of a Decepticon movie, and for me it would be based on Cybertron. It might predate Bumblebee and be heading towards the Cybertronian War. In fact, we don't know how long the Cybertronian War has raged on for, so it could still be ongoing at this point, but it does predate Bumblebee. But my thought process of this movie would be that Megatron believes that he is in the right, and him and the Decepticons are protecting Cybertron from the Autobot Resistance. And I do take, some influence from Marvel and the way that they have portrayed Thanos, because Thanos thinks that everything he does is right, although that everyone sees it as cruel and that he is a major villain. He doesn't quite see it that way, and I think Megatron could be very similar to Thanos because he is ruthless and he believes that he does everything, for the better of planet Cybertron, to keep his planet alive. So you could easily do this movie, and there are plenty of things you could include. You could include the relationship between the Decepticons, so how Megatron doesn't see eye to eye with Starscream. He has his loyal servants in Shockwave and Soundwave, and it could also focus on the fact that Shockwave is the protector of Cybertron and how he works with Megatron. But on the flip side of things, as you focus on the relationships within the Decepticon camp, you've also got to think about the rivalry between Megatron and Optimus Prime. You could tell that story too, but you tell it from Megatron's perspective. So you almost, in a way, see that the Autobots are this resistance that won't stay down, but the Decepticons are the anti-heroes. And it ties in very much, like I said, with this buzz at the moment of focusing on villains in franchises, but making them look like they're doing it for the greater good. So what do you think about this? Would this be something you are open to? I think it would be very cool. I think there's so many things you could do with it, and I think it would be different, and I think people would open their eyes and think, yeah, this is a different take on a Transformers film, and maybe you'd like to see it. So I want to get your views and opinions on this in the comment section below. What do you think of my idea? And if you could have a Decepticon movie, how would you kickstart it? What would your story or your plot be? And what Decepticons would you use? Would you focus it being on Cybertron? Because the other option is to not focus on the Cybertronian war, and you could focus very much on Megatron, but you could again take some bits from the Bayverse. So we know that Bumblebee the movie did do that because it was a prequel initially, then it became a soft reboot. But we also know that Paramount and Hasbro do want to keep a good relationship with Michael Bay, so they may want to revisit the Bayverse from time to time and just dip in and out and take bits from the story arc. So they could very well go with the fact that Megatron crash landed on Earth in the ice, and maybe we go from there. So we tell the story of Megatron being on Earth. You don't have to have Archibald Witwicky revive him. You don't have to have that, so you don't have to have the imprint of the coordinates of the Allspark on his glasses. You don't have to go from there. You don't have to find Sector 7, locating him and taking him to the Hoover Dam. You don't have to do that. And just to clear up, I know I said revive. I know that he didn't revive him. He just found him. So just before someone pulls me up on that, just wanted to get that in there. But you don't have to go down that entire route of what Bay mapped out. You just have to acknowledge that he crash landed in the ice, and that is still very much achievable with what Bumblebee the movie set out, because Megatron, albeit that he was initially apparently scheduled to be in the movie and written into it, he was taken out of Bumblebee for that continuity reason. So that's an option too. And there's talks about a Beast Wars movie, and that kind of seems a bit extreme for me. That seems like you're trying to jump the gun. You haven't really got the G1 universe working just yet, so why would you want to go there when you've just had a decent Bumblebee movie? Try and tell the story of other Transformers, and why not look at it from that anti-hero perspective? I think that could be something different. We see that it's a bit of a buzz at the moment, but I don't think anybody would expect Hasbro and Paramount to go there, but why not? So I want to get your views in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this idea, and you don't have to have the Decepticons that I listed. It might not very well be about Megatron. It might not be, or might not involve Starscream, Shockwave, Soundwave. You could go with someone completely different. You could pick a Decepticon from the G1 universe and think to yourself, that Decepticon could tell the perfect backstory of an anti-hero. So, you could have one that switched sides over the years. There's plenty of options. I just think it's something different and it would work. But I want to get your views in the comment section below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure you check out my other Transformers content on my YouTube channel. We're going to have plenty to talk about. There is so much to talk about when it comes to Transformers, because yes, at the moment we're in a bit of a state of unknown. We don't know what Paramount and Hasbro are going to go for next, but with Bumblebee being a financial and critical success, we do know that there are plans in the future, and maybe this will be one of them. So get involved in the comments, and all that's left to be said is please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski signing out.